Here we are in the mouth of the Shark River, pure salt water, and then we're gonna go up until we get to what is a freshwater river.
I think it's a bass.
Fish on.
I think I caught a bass, dude.
Look at this bass.
How about that?
Double header.
Shafter said, I got the spot where I might catch a Goliath grouper. And you're like, wow, that could be a freshwater bass in one day and a saltwater bass.
Yeah.
Take your time with him now.
Nice shafter. Nice job, dude.
I thought I was hung on the bottom.
Oh! Yeah! Come on, come on. Oh! He ate it. He ate it. He ate nice, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought you said you had to...
Got him, relax.
Oh, dude, he just ripped my boat off. Oh! Awesome. Look at that big boy.
The Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, with Captain Tom Rowland and Captain Rich Tudor.
Shafter, how long ago did you get the boat?
I got it 9 months ago, actually. Yeah, remodeled it and brought it down. It was in Sarasota, and we redid all the remodeling there.
That thing is perfect.
Yeah, it works really good.
You know, this is like a dream. You know, we've talked about it before, Tom. You know, it's like, man, if we could, you know, just have a big boat and stay up here, you know, and not have to go home. You're literally making people's, you know, dreams a reality.
Definitely. It makes it nice to be right here on the fish. You can get a lot done in one day.
Today is an absolutely perfect example. I mean, I wouldn't even go fishing today.
Definitely
I'd have stayed
not.
home because the ride over here would have been miserable with this north wind. Even from Flamingo going across the Whitewater would have been miserable. But all we have to do is go up this sheltered creek and you know, all kinds of opportunities.
You've got a lot of options, and these places we're going today are places that no one ever goes. You know, it's 50 miles from the landing at Flamingo, and it's even further from Chokoloskee, so, you know, it's such a neat experience, and, you know, there's nowhere else that you can do something like this. The amount of stuff you can do from that river mouth right there all the way up to the headwaters is amazing. A lot of fun.
That was maybe one of the coolest days of fishing I've ever experienced, because here we are in the mouth of the Shark River, pure salt water, or for the most part, we're right at the Gulf of Mexico. And then we're gonna go up through all of this different vegetation. We got to see all the vegetation change until the water starts to get fresher and fresher, and then you see the bird life changing, and you see everything kind of changing, and then it even gets to be like a different smell and a different feeling of going further and further up in there until we get to what is a freshwater river, basically.
Yeah.
And Shafter, the way he decided we had gone up there far enough to start fishing for bass, he just put his hand in the water and tasted it.
Yeah.
And he's like, yep, pretty fresh right here.
In water, we're at 5 foot right now, and you know, even if the tide falls out, we're gonna have plenty enough to get back. And we'll just run all the way up here, up the north prong, and come back down and end up in the cane patch. And we'll stop along the way at any of these ditch mouths we see that look good. And you know, we're bass and snook up here, and you fish it just like you're bass fishing in a river, because that's, you know, that's exactly what we're doing. We're gonna hit productive shoreline around the ditch mouths. And,
So we're just gonna run up as far as we could possibly go.
As far as we're gonna go, and it'll be, you know, we're in completely fresh now, and it'll stay that way all the way up, and then we're gonna come back down and fish an area where a lot of creeks come together, and we'll flush into one spot. So
Let's do it, man. It was a really interesting trip to leave the mothership, you know, which is anchored right there at the mouth, and then run up in there and not have an agenda that day. It was just kind of an adventure. It was like, yes, we might go up there and we might catch something, we might not, but we really went to an area that neither one of us had ever been in our entire life of fishing all these different areas. Not only, you know, take an adventure like that, but then to catch some fish that, you know, certainly I don't get to catch very often, is a largemouth bass.
Yeah.
You know, he was saying that we might catch bass. I was thinking, you know, I guess just it was hard for me to process that we could potentially catch a bass that day.
Would you ever see a redfish in here?
back in Tarpon there is, you know, Tarpon Bay.
But then you see different lines of where different species kind of stop and...
Yeah, and it all depends.
Fish on. I think it's a bass.
Fish on.
I think I caught a bass, dude.
Look at this, look at this bass.
How about that?
Double header.
Double header bass.
That's awesome.
Sweet. Here, right there in that brush pile. That was...
Wow. Yours is bigger than mine. Dude, that's crazy.
That is so cool. Look at your shafter.
Nope.
Not 30 minutes ago, we left We left the open Gulf of Mexico, and now we're catching bass.
Still had the same jigs that we were using almost for redfish, and threw them up there, and right away, bam, I get a bite, and then Shafter gets a bite, and we had a doubleheader.
You guys
They're
had
both bass.
Man. You guys had it. I think I've probably done more bass fishing than either one of you guys. I couldn't catch one up there. I couldn't catch one, but I was glad to see that we were, getting one. And to me, that was like, when we caught the first one, I'm like, all right, this is great, because I'm already thinking about the way out. We're going to get up there, we're going to catch bass, but what are we going to catch on the way out? And how is this all going to change as we fish our way back to the boat? Because at that point in the day, very early in the day, and we still had plenty of time and a lot of adventure left in the day.
Got him again.
Man,
I got the
you are
technique now.
smoking them back there.
Just taking it to
I got the technique now.
We're gonna have to go back here in his little brush pile.
I know.
I'm ready for the Bassmaster Classic.
Oh, he ate it. You got it. Oh,
Cast that big
beautiful.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
That was sweet.
The Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Mercury Marine, celebrating 75 years of marine excellence. Yellowfin, only in a Yellowfin. Lowrance, find, navigate, dominate. True Flies, life off the chart. And by Costa Sunglasses and Motor Guide.
It was all about the experience that day of going and traveling far enough to where you're going to see a difference in the salinity of the water and see a difference in the species that are around. We were going to go up in there and catch bass, and I just would have been happy if any of us had caught one. No, doesn't matter what size. I didn't think that we were going to catch big ones, but it's just a matter of getting that species and just going from saltwater all the way into fresh, and really from where we came from, Hawks Cay, we're in absolutely 100% saltwater. Go over there, spend the night on the mothership, and then work our way all the way up. And there were so many different little channels and different places that we could go, and Shafter just kept taking us further and further and further. And you would think that around any corner it's going to end, because we start seeing hard ground, all around us.
And to me, the coolest thing was when we got up to the headwaters. We really followed the Shark River up to its source, to where it drains. We could not take the boat any further.
Right.
You got one.
Nice.
I caught one.
Let me get the net.
Woohoo! I knew I could do it. I remembered how.
Good job,
Nice.
And it was just like I was telling you, man. The light just went on. See
I
that
told
white
you
bait?
there's lily pads. Look right there.
Heck, with the
They're just one of them.
flowers. Now you thought that bait was too big, but look how he ate that
Nice.
thing, man. He ate the snot out of it.
He's a little greener than the other one. Still pretty black though.
He's seasick. It's so windy.
Yeah.
And then it was cool as we started to work our way out. Shafter had a good suggestion. He said, there's been some good snook in Whitewater Bay, and so that was just following the river out. We just had to hang a left and cut right into Whitewater Bay, and we just kind of just stayed out of the wind. Just went up on that lee side shoreline, and just pushed up as far as we could get in the creeks. What was so cool to me there is even in the bay boat, we were able to get into some areas that I thought were shallow.
Very shallow.
But I guess that shallow bay and that mud just heats up with the sun. So it had been cold that morning, but by noon, by the time we got in there, the sun had been up, and I guess the snook and other fish just come up in there and kind of warm themselves in that mud.
Right.
And just felt like we had good visibility, and if there was a fish there, we could see it. And it wasn't long. We got just trolling on that shoreline and just see this snook sitting right there, just so clearly.
Oh, he ate it. You got it. Oh,
Cast that big
beautiful.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
That was sweet.
Woo, he's a monster, old man.
That is a big fish. We need the net on that joker.
Oh man, that's awesome. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, he's going back for the trees. No.
He was laying right there on that mud.
I gotta get him out of the trees. Gotta get him out of the trees. Oh yeah, that was awesome. I've always heard about that. I've never got to do that. That was great. Big fat snook.
And it was just so cool because it had that little light rod and that little jig, and I just threw out in front of this snook, and I mean that jig just hit in front of him, and he just demolished it. I mean, it was like I was expecting him to spook. Anytime I've ever thrown a snook like that, they would spook. This one just, as soon as he saw that thing, he rushed over and gobbled it. It was like, whoa!
Shafter, that was cool, man.
That was sweet, man. Sight fish, big snook.
Wow.
And like 5 inches of
Thumped
water.
that thing. In a bay boat, no less.
That's pretty amazing. Shallow as he was.
I've heard about it. I've done some similar things, you know, but to just purely sight cast a snook where they're up there, you know, warming themselves, just isn't laid up is what you call it. You're just laying there. He's just laying there still as can be, and it was surprising to me that they were that aggressive if you made the cast.
I can probably lip him. You want to get a nap at him?
Nice job, dude. That is a heck of a fish.
Man, you showed us some cool stuff.
Shafter. Put us
He
on
was
the
right
meat.
there beside those mullet, and man, he spun around on that.
Oh, he thumped that thing. Let me get a look at him.
Nice fish, dude.
Look at that line sider.
Woo! Gosh, he's so
That's
dark.
awesome, man.
He was just sitting in like that much water, right?
See, they got that, they're completely flat on the bottom, and they can just lay, and you won't even see them. He blistered that, didn't he?
That is cool. Wow.
It's a great fish.
Man, that's awesome.
Look at how they...
Bucket mouth. Wow.
Wow, take my rod for a second. Thanks. Wow, that was fun.
Very good.
That was
My
so
turn.
See if we can find another
Do
one.
that.
Shafter, that's cool, man. What an exploration. We went way back into the
We are a
catching
long way.
the bass. Ran way, way, way back in there. Came a little further out. Found these big snook. Wow. See you, buddy.
What's next?
Wow.
Very cool.
Awesome, man. Awesome.
That was
That's
great.
sweet.
Sign me up for that.
The Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Yeti Coolers. Wildly stronger, keep ice longer. Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here. Quantum Rods and Reels, fishing at a quantum level. King Sailfish Mounts, release mounts for that once-in-a-lifetime catch. And by Fraybill and Power Pole.
One of the questions I got from a viewer this year was, how do you guys find out where you're going back in the Everglades? And it's very intimidating. When I first got down here, just looking at a map of this area, it's crazy. All the shallow water and the creeks and the thousands of islands back there. And it is incredibly intimidating. This is one of these things where the reality is you need a good chart, and there's nothing better than the GPS charts they have nowadays. The GPS I have now, it has a satellite overlay. It's just got the most minute details on it, and you can switch from the paper chart look to the satellite overlay look. It's up to date and just precise. You can see your boat running through the channels. It just gave us the confidence to explore areas. We started off at the Saltwater in the mouth of Ponce de Leon Bay, where our mothership was, and just decided one day when the wind was blowing to go exploring where we'd never been. We wanted to go up into freshwater and catch a bass. I'd never done it before, but watching the chart, just zeroing in, seeing where we were going, with a satellite overview, we knew it was real. It wasn't just a fake little misprint on a chart. We actually saw the satellite overview and got up there where we were catching largemouth bass. And then the same day we went back out and caught big grouper and snook out in the opening. So absolutely recommend the Navionics chip in here with the satellite overviews. Great touchscreen Lowrance. It has everything you can need to have the confidence to explore areas that you've never been before.
Got it?
Got him.
Cool.
You got him? Nice job, Shafter. Nice job.
We had another thing that was going on. Shafter loved standing up on that tower, and he's seeing stuff up there. Couldn't always make them out, what they were, but he could see a shape of a fish up there, and he pointed out a shape of a fish, far away, and he's trying to make a cast to it. It came as such an incredible surprise. All of a sudden, the bill comes up. I thought it was going to be a snook.
Oh, that's so cool, man.
All right, well, this is going to be a first for me.
I'm gonna try to net. I'm gonna net him. Where's the net?
Man, he is still just burrowing straight down in that. It's right up here behind the cooler. still going down in that mud.
I thought that was a snook, man. It's a sawfish.
Yeah, it's a sawfish. All right, want to grab him?
Yeah, we'll give it a shot. I'm kind of a little scared too.
Yep, it's a sawfish.
Little tiny sawfish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it was.
Wow, look at that. That is so cool.
Shafter hooked that thing accidentally, but that was the coolest fish I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the only sawfish that I've ever seen have been just the massive, giant ones, as big as they grow, and that's what we have in Key West. I've never seen a baby sawfish ever. You know, I like big fish, and I like to see fish at their biggest stage. But you know, if you caught a tarpon that was this big, you know how cool that would be, or a little bonefish, or we used to have a little permit like this, and you know, to see that little sawfish, really, really cool.
Half ray, half fish. Look at those teeth.
Here, pinch him by the tip of his bill and slide him out.
But a sawfish is just a really weird looking fish. I mean, it's kind of half shark, half billfish, half ray. That's 3 halves. And you know how tough you have to be 3? That's 1.5 fish.
Yeah.
And they're very interesting fish. I'd like to know a lot more about them. And one of these days I will get my kids up there to show them those sawfish, because you know, I don't know where I could see another little baby sawfish like that.
Man, he looked just like that big snook.
Wow.
There he goes.
Boy, that was like,
Dude,
it was like he had a switchblade.
Yeah, he did.
Wow, that's interesting.
That is the first for me, man. I've only seen them like 14 times that size.
The Saltwater Experience, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Hawks Cay, the only key you'll need. The Florida Keys in Key West, come as you are. Marine Formula Stable, protects against the damaging effects of ethanol fuels in marine engines. And by Loadmaster.
We love to communicate with fans of the show. Now, while I'd like to meet everybody face to face, sometimes that's just not possible. But there are other ways. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Ask questions and get advice from both me and Rich. And don't forget about our YouTube page, where you can see behind-the-scenes videos and full-length shows. We hope to see you there.
You know, we found a couple more snook, but we were starting to lose our light. It was, you know, it was getting later in the day, and I think it was about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. We were starting to lose our light. So I think the fish were still up there, but we weren't seeing them in time to make a good cast to them. So we were like, all right, well, you know, we still got a little bit of light. What should we fish for? And it was something that you got really excited about. I said, I got the spot where I might catch a Goliath grouper or these big gag groupers. I remember you got excited right there. You're like, wow, that could be a freshwater bass in one day and a saltwater bass.
Yeah.
But he said that what we need to do is catch some bait. So he took us over to a little spot where he'd been catching some jacks and other things like that, and trout and ladyfish, and just made a few jig casts. Sure enough, we're catching some trout, some jacks.
Nice big yellow trout. Look how fat he is. That's cool.
We were catching some nice trout. I mean, that could have been a great day of fishing in itself right there, but we ended up putting a couple of those in the live well, and that was enough, and we're running out of time. And so we pull up to that point, and I just go with the biggest bait that I could find right away. And I put it on a heavy rod, throw it in there, and I think Shafter's eyes got about like that, because he's used to throwing a little bit smaller bait. But I was convinced, you know, I do a lot of that Goliath grouper fishing, and a big bait is not a challenge for those things. And the bigger the bait, the bigger the fish that you might be able to catch.
We were putting a bait on that was twice the size of the bass we were catching earlier.
Right, exactly, or more than twice the size. Oh,
Got him. Got a bite. Get us out of here. Get us out of here. That's a big one.
Oh, Tim, you're good. Just keep going like that. Keep going.
That's a big one. Nice job, dude. All right, we're in the clear. Take your time with him now. Nice job, dude. Nice job, dude.
I thought I was hung on the bottom.
There we go.
Oh, watch out, Rich.
Is he off the bottom?
Yeah.
You want me to pull you away farther?
Yep. Oh, wait, he's on something. He was on, I felt him on something.
Oh man, he completely broke you
It's
off
okay.
above the bimini, didn't he?
That was a big fish, man.
That was a
that's
stud.
cool.
I'd gone for a little bit smaller jack, and put that down there, and right in the same spot basically, which was interesting to me because we weren't fishing under the mangroves. We were fishing on this point away from it. There must have been a ledge or something that he knew that was the
there's
spot.
kind of an eddy, kind of comes in like this and kind of formed an eddy and probably wallowed out a little hole there. That's what I was kind of envisioning that.
Well, I'll tell you, they were there.
Yeah, you're saying, get him.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm out.
Watch this hatch behind you. I got it open.
This one's coming up, baby. He's manageable.
Good job.
We're in the clear.
Clear?
Yeah, baby. How about that? Good job, man. I love it.
Nice.
Is it the right one?
It's a big fish. I don't know what it is. Oh, it's a big gag. Look at this. Big old gag grouper. That's so cool. Big old gag. Oh, that's great.
Awesome, man.
That is cool. These are the ones that guys. These are the ones that guys we're talking about trolling for.
Yep. You want me to hold your rod so you can grab?
That is a nice grouper.
Dude, that's so cool.
Beautiful.
We run all the way up the river, catch a little bass.
Go catch.
Come back to the saltwater, catch a big bass.
That is
That
cool.
is a saltwater bass right there.
Nice gag grouper, which was one of the things that I had really wanted to catch while we were up there. One of the things that I'd heard about, and we caught them.
There we go.
Look at that. How about that?
That is a beauty.
Thanks, brother.
You bet, man. That's awesome.
Shafter's got so much of what it takes to be a great captain, the experience, the knowledge of the areas, the willingness to go to an area you've never been to and learn it. He was a great host, on our boat, helping us to catch some fish, but also on his own boat. And for everybody to stay together on that boat and have a bunch of good laughs, it was awesome like that.